Any other comments or discussion? Yes, sir. Mr. Brown.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I want to echo the sentiments of Councilmember Drosha. First, in his thanks to city staff for all of their hard work on the budget. I particularly want to thank our city administrator, Mr. Colburn, and our finance director, Mr. Smith, and assistant finance director, Michelle Wallow, for all of their hard work. I've been on their side of this at the state level, and I know that it can be particularly painful to put together a budget and make the numbers work and then double check and triple check everything. So I think we all are in agreement that we're thankful for your service to the city and the staff throughout the city for their work on the budget. Also, I want to echo my colleagues' comments regarding the budget that we have before us. As I began thinking about some of the challenges that we are faced with, I was particularly grateful for the budget narrative, which quite frankly laid out the X's and O's as we see them. The budget comes to us at a time where there is a sense of cautious optimism regarding our economic recovery. And Mr. Colburn highlighted some of the positives that we're seeing in the community. He highlighted the expansion of dark container, which has an indirect effect. Also, during our budget sessions, we talked about the expansion of Gestamp. We talked about some of the new home builds that are going on. And also, even though property values are flat, they seem to stabilize to some degree. That being said, we all have concerns about the uncertainty that we see at the federal government and at the state government. You turn on the news, you hear about sequestration and impacts at the state and local level. We also know that the personal property tax is coming down the pike, and we know that there are some local businesses and local families that are struggling. So even though we see some recovery taking place, I think that it wouldn't be wise of us to say that we have truly turned the corner. Mr. Colburn highlighted a lot of the investments that we are making in this budget. And I was pleased to see that we have a balanced budget that keeps our millage rate where it is, that keeps taxes low. But at the same time, if you really look throughout the entirety of the document, you see that we are making some significant investments and improvements with regard to city services and infrastructure and the overall quality of life. And I won't take the time to go through all of them, but suffice it to say that we're making some steps forward in the right direction. Now, there's a lot that we still need to do, and I definitely agree with some of the concerns that have been expressed by members of the community regarding public works, regarding our streets. Councilmember Bruno expressed some concerns as well. This is not a perfect budget. It's not the ideal situation. Money doesn't grow in trees. We don't have unlimited staff. We don't have unlimited resources. But at the same time, I think it gets us moving in the direction that we want to go. And I think that's a very responsible budget. I also want to point out, because many in the community were not able to attend our budget work sessions, that we had some very positive and productive discussions. And I know that over the coming year, I was very encouraged to hear that Mr. Colburn's going to be continuing to work within this budget to find additional savings and efficiencies that can be realized, so that now we can not only have additional resources to expend, but we can divert them to where they're truly needed. And we had a discussion regarding our staffing levels. And I was particularly encouraged to hear Mr. Colburn say that he was going to be evaluating our current staffing levels and seeing how we can maximize the current staff that we have, but also where we might need to do some reshuffling and reorganization. And I know that was a point of particular importance to various members of the council. So I know that that's a discussion that will take place as we move forward. I want to encourage my colleagues tonight to consider supporting this budget, realizing that, as Councilmember Drosha pointed out, we are very likely going to have to come back and revisit these numbers and amend the budget. That's just the reality of of the circumstances that are surrounding us at the state and federal level. As for me, I do support the budget. I think it is a good investment in our city's future. And I also believe that there's still more to do, but this budget recognizes the progress that we have made. And I think this budget will also allow us to make continual progress, in the coming fiscal year. So, my colleagues, I thank you for your time, and I ask for your support on the budget as well.